Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Max Reviews. And instead of doing a random review this week, I decided to put out this video, which is I just finished watching my absolute favorite animated show of all time. What is it? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Max Reviews. And I just finished my favorite animated show of all time. I finished watching the final season of it. And I don't really talk about animated shows too much. I talk about new ones, but I talked about What If, but not a whole bunch. So I just finished watching my favorite one just for the first time, and so I just had to do a video on it. So what could this be? It's not gonna be what you expect. I've seen a lot of people their animated shows that are very big: Rick and Morty, Simpsons, SpongeBob, Invincible. I really like that, but that's sort of off the table. I already watched that. I've heard people like Family Guy, and then What If was pretty popular. There's a bunch of big animated shows, but for me, my favorite animated show that I just finished watching is gonna have to be Gravity Falls. Now, for this show, I wasn't really gonna check it out originally. I had heard some good things about it, and then my little brother started checking it out, so I said, hey, wait, restart it, I'm gonna check it out with you boys, and then I ended up watching the entire 2 seasons and 40 episodes. It's not that long of a show. It's actually 2 seasons, 40 episodes, and the episodes are like 20 minutes long, I think. So, me, for shows, I don't watch a whole bunch. There's also Avatar The Last Airbender, which I'm gonna check out eventually. I haven't seen it yet. And then Clone Wars, which few episodes until I'm done with it. But even Clone Wars, which I've seen like almost every episode in all 7 seasons. And there's the good episodes and then there's the bad episodes. That's why it's not that great of a show overall. Well, it's a good show. I'd give it a good show, but it can't be like favorite show of all time worthy. But the Gravity Falls, it's on Disney Plus, and I just checked it out. And this is a show that came out like 10 years ago, and the writing in this show is just so good. This is the best writing that I've ever seen in a show, I'm gonna have to say. This is absolutely my favorite animated show, and what it comes down to is it's smart, it's playful, it could have really a bunch of fun, but it also has this darker moments in it, and can get really sort of mature at times. So the show focuses around these 2 siblings, Dipper and Mabel Pines, who, it's pretty basic. They're both like 12, and they're being dropped off from their home in California, and they're going to this sort of backstreet town called Gravity Falls in Oregon to spend the summer with their great uncle Stan Pines, or Grunkle Stan, and who runs this place called the Mystery Shack, which is essentially sort of like a tourist trap where they just make you spend money on useless junk. Other like main characters that are usually there is Seuss, who's like the janitor's sort of stupid, sort of fun character there. There's Wendy, who also works there, who Dipper has a crush on, and then there's also a bunch of side characters there that aren't always there. Like there's this rich girl and her parents. You have Mabel's 2 friends, Mabel's pig called Waddles. And you just have a bunch of characters in this that you have so much fun with. There's these 2 cops who are gay, and that wasn't that big of a thing back 10 years ago. And so this show worked well with that. There's this insane hillbilly who just seems like he's going to be this weird insane character. But every single character in the show gets at least 2 episodes of development. Except maybe the police, they probably don't get an episode. And then, but other than that, everybody gets at least 2 episodes of development. That they just have these character arcs that even at the end of the very first episode of the season, the character arcs are not resolved until like season 2, episode 10. There's mysteries going on in every single episode. There's when I say there's setup and payoff, usually you think like they say this guy has a problem with lying and they fix that by the end of the episode, sort of a thing. Little character arc, it's over in one episode. The setup and payoff it's so complex. They could say a little throwaway line. Like every single line of dialogue in this show seems to have like deeper meaning, deeper thoughts to it. And when I reflect on the first season after finishing the show, it makes it even better because stupid things that you originally think are stupid get really emotional, dark, and meaningful. I say that the show is dark. And what I mean by that is I'm pretty surprised that this show got away with everything that it got away with. They make so many different references to stuff that definitely doesn't exactly seem like it would be in a Disney animated kids show. Like those are crude hand gestures, and there's little jokes throughout each thing. There's just little things that really they just are a lot more mature, where I could laugh at it, 14-year-old me, and also my little brothers could laugh at it, even though not understanding really what they're talking about. And also, it has this humor with the dialogue where people talking where sometimes it could be a bit annoying if you're not really invested in it that much, I guess. But, like, little things that they add in there, like, that you haven't heard before. One time this guy says, Dipper says this mysterious boyfriend that Mabel has he never blinks. And she says, maybe he's blinking when you're blinking. No, maybe you're blinking when he's blinking. Just these little weird references and dialogue that go on throughout the show work so well. Other things that I should mention, the darkness in this show, it's really could get creepy at times. Like, really creepy. I'm serious. Like, kids get eaten and killed in this show, it seems. Well, they might not. It might seem like that, but they don't actually. By the end of the episode, stuff gets sort of resolved. But actually, this is a darker show where you could have these creepier things that would seem like a bit more of horror than you would think in this little happy, perky kids show where it's so menacing. Even the happy intro. It's got this happy intro song, and at the end of everything, there's this villain that is watching you at the end of every intro. You might not see it because there's clues everywhere, and just there's secret messages and stuff. I would love to have just grown up and watched this on, like, let's see, like, whenever it came out on a weekday, just checking out the secret codes, trying to figure out what's going to happen, because I didn't do a bunch of the secret codes. I looked at all that afterwards, but you could tell, even with the intro, they're saying stuff, and you have to reverse it backwards in the intro when it says Gravity Falls, and it says stuff. Sometimes it says, I'm watching you, from the villain, who I'm not going to spoil who he is right now. I'm going to get into spoilers later, but just, wow, what a show. It also has a bunch of elements. Each episode has a different sort of vibe going on. You have everything, every fantasy or science fiction thing exists in this universe. There's creatures, zombies, gnomes, there's all these different sorts of monsters, magical creatures, dinosaurs, time travel, body snatchers, body switching developments, transforming yourself into different creatures, transforming your size, just so many things that there's in every single episode, where it seems like a pretty basic thing, but they expand upon it so much. And each little character has a deeper theme, mythology thing going on there, where each character is a puzzle piece, except the police, the police and Mabel's friends and Waddles don't have deeper mythology, but almost every other character in the show has something bigger, deeper, darker going on inside them. And I don't want to spoil that because this show relies on each of these puzzle pieces. You can't miss an episode with this show. Well, probably you can skip one, but it's not like Clone Wars where you could just, oh, there's a bad episode with droids when this small guy. I do not want to watch a droids episode in Clone Wars. And you just skip it and it doesn't matter. This show, every single episode matters. It has little character arcs. Stuff gets explored in this episode that the rest of the show won't make sense. And even in certain shows like What If and Invincible, I would say that was which I would call my favorite show before I watched Gravity Falls. Even Invincible, it's only one season long, and it does have a pretty cool twist, but the writing in it isn't as good as in here. I just absolutely love this show, and I don't think I'm going to do a spoiler section because I don't want it spoiled for you guys. I want you to go check it out for yourself. I absolutely recommend this show, and as somebody who was sort of skeptical, like I thought it would be something different than it was, it's still really good, and it's only 2 seasons long, 40 episodes, 20-minute episodes each, and you get so invested in the characters, in the world building, in the villains, in the twists and the turns, and the emotions, that even when you think it's getting overly goofy or weird and it makes no sense, you're like, this is just ridiculous, don't worry. It'll make sense by the end of season 2, because even stuff that I was criticizing, like, this is too cheesy, this is too goofy, this doesn't make any sense. Like, if I had to say just the Wax episode, it might seem a bit weird to people with Stan in that episode. He was crying over a wax figure of himself being killed. That was one of my criticisms that I was going to go into the show, that just way too wacky, weird, it does not work. That got resolved by the end of season 2. And another thing that I just want to mention, in each season there's that one episode that's sort of like, doesn't do a whole bunch for the plot. They're just basically telling stories. And those episodes are still fun, but they aren't necessary. But they are still really good. They don't move the story forward. So, like, not every single episode. There's 2 episodes in the entire show that are not exactly necessary, but they still have something to do with it. And then there's these little character arcs where, like, Dipper likes this girl, Wendy, and she's like 2 or 3 years older than him. And that goes, like, it starts in like this 3-episode thing where it doesn't necessarily, they're not really continuing, but they also have these themes running through them. It's not like they're fighting a Godzilla monster for 3 episodes straight. No, it's different things happening to them and him trying to figure this out throughout those episodes. That's how it works. And you finish the arc, and then we do some other stuff, and then you come back to this stuff. Every few episodes, I'd say every 5 episodes, you come back to the characters and see what they're doing, how they're doing. And characters that don't seem like they make a bunch of sense why they're in the show, they're just sort of goofy side characters, like the hillbilly guy. They have deeper character arcs, deeper themes, deeper stuff going on that just blows your mind. So many occasions it blows your mind. I don't really 100%, you don't have to check out all the secret messages and stuff. It's definitely cool. End credits, they have a bunch of secret messages, stuff in the title if you do it backwards. I checked it out on YouTube, how to play it backwards and stuff. I figured some of it out, and then just little cool stuff. If you play it backwards, then some of the stuff that they're saying actually translates to words, which is really cool. But I didn't check that out until after the show was done because I didn't want to spoil anything, because I knew there would be stuff in the future episodes. So you don't have to check it out like that and try to unravel all the mysteries while you're still going through the show. I binged through it in, I'd say, like 2 weeks with my little brothers and my sisters. They got into it in, like, I think the back half of season 1, like maybe episode 16, and they were like, this looks stupid, and then they started watching and they got hooked in, and now it's their favorite animated show too. So just absolutely, I would recommend it. I'm not the biggest animated guy. Like, I don't watch a whole bunch of animated shows. I do watch a bunch of animated movies, but a bunch of animated shows. I don't watch a whole bunch of animated shows. I don't watch anime, but still, for me, my little humble opinion right here, this is my favorite animated show. It might be beat. Avatar: The Last Airbender could beat it. I haven't seen that. I'm gonna check that out. I've heard a lot of praise for Lego Ninjago, which I might check out. Just opening, checking it out eventually, and then just the show. I absolutely enjoyed it. Favorite animated show of all time. A plus, 10 out of 10. Absolutely enjoyed every little bit of it, and I do recommend it so much. Like this, I know when I recommend stuff, I say, yeah, you could check this out. This is 100% a recommendation for anybody, regardless of your age or what you think of this, or even if you're really invested in Disney. Like, come on, this is Disney Channel stuff. Disney Channel is usually really not that good, but this is a hidden diamond in the Disney Plus thing. So just check it out. 100% recommend it. Leave your comments down below. What is your favorite animated show, or some other ones that you would recommend to me? Animated shows, animated movies, stuff like that. And if you have seen the show, leave it in the comments. Like, what do you think of the show? Or if you're gonna check it out, like, this is one that I definitely recommend. Even if you're busy, just there's short episodes, 20 minutes each. And then if you get hooked in, I'm sorry. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Braden. This is Max Reviews. Love talking about this so much with you guys. Braden out.